Welcome to the Enterprise Connect series, Arup, at Entrepreneur Day 2020. The session will begin soon and will be conducted in English without any simultaneous interpretation services. 歡迎各位參加創業日2020嘅創企系列 Arup 環節即將開始並以英文進行，不設即時傳譯服務。During the session, you are welcome to raise questions through the Q&A box next to the video frame. Selected questions will be asked at the Q&A session towards the end. 論壇期間，大家可以喺直播畫面旁邊嘅 Q&A 位置提問，我哋亦都會喺稍後嘅問答環節代為發問。Themed under Revive, Redefine, this year's Eday aims to encourage startups to revive businesses with disruptive and innovative ideas in a dynamic environment and to redefine different industries by creating breakthrough. With the new concept of Enterprise Connect, Eday 2020 bridges startups with enterprises for co-creating innovation in a wide spectrum of sectors. Today, we are very happy to have Dr. Tsui from Arup, Dr. Macy Zhang from Arup, and Dr. Abraham Lam from Mega Automation. They'll introduce how they partner with startups in smart engineering. Without further ado, let's welcome Macy to do the sharing first.
Right. First of all, I would like to thank TDC for the invitation. And we're going to have a brief introduction from Arup, what the ecosystem that we are going to establish. And then having a section from Dr. Lam, how he actually worked together with Arup in the past. And then we will open the floor for Q&A. So starting from Macy's presentation first. Macy.
Okay, thank you, Dr. My name is Dr. Macy Zhang, and I'm from Arup. I'm very glad to be here today, and thank you for joining us today here. And I'm glad we can still have the virtual sharing here amid the pandemic situation. So I have to apologize first because the television is a little at distance, so I have to look at the screen in my computer. So how many of you know Arup? I can't really see the audience, so I'll just introduce Arup first. So Arup was founded in 1946 in London by Danish engineer and philosopher Sir Ove Arup. It has developed into a global firm of engineers, designers, planners, and business consultants, exerting a significant influence on the built environments. So we currently have over 14,000 employees based in more than 19 offices across more than 33 countries. Can we do that? So with our regional headquarters established in Hong Kong in 1976, we have been active in East Asia for more than 35 years, employing more than 3,400 employees in the region. Our East Asia operations include 16 offices across the Great China, Cambodia, Japan, South Korea, Thailand, Philippines, and Vietnam. So we have been building a culture of innovation for more than a decade in East Asia. We adopt a progressive approach to fostering innovation, combining in-house R&D, entrepreneurship programs, and partnerships with innovation companies such as startup companies and SME are specialized in construction, engineering, and building design technologies. We have a relatively supportive organization structure to endorse a lot of cooperation innovation activities, which is very important. This commitment is very important for us to unleash a lot of potentials in Arup. So we have formed a lot of open innovation activities as well, which we will mention later. So we position ourselves at a level 4. We are progressively approaching level 5, which is more experienced to create corporate innovation ecosystems. So first of all, I'm going to introduce you this image, which is there's an interesting story behind this. We had a discussion with one of the investment company called Brink. So they were bringing this concept of different stage of the innovation technologies to us, and we have a very interesting discussion about this image. And I want to share with you with this image that after many years of trial, we find that we have to define the technologies into 3 categories, which is called incremental, adjacent, and disruptive. So normally, I'm going to talk you through this diagram very soon. So we're developing a robust culture of innovation has made Arup a highly competitive company. We have a lot of creative community of engineers and designers. In doing a lot of innovation activities, Arup combines in-house research, which is referred as internal R&D in this figure, and entrepreneurial programs, which is referred as internal venture, and also startup engagement to turn innovation ideas into actions and into our client solutions. So this 3-tier approach enables Arup to develop our necessary technologies that meet our near-term, medium-term, and long-term goals, respectively. So let's first take a look at the internal R&D first. So innovation minds are really encouraged at Arup. Everyone can apply for R&D fundings. We have an interesting scheme called Research in Arup, Investing in Arup. It's called IIA Research Fundings. So everyone can apply for this and do their innovations. So we have these schemes to enable employees to propose and conduct research projects with topics that can address foreseeable challenges and align with our strategic goals. Applicants can apply for fundings for research programs, including and for manpower costs, and also including the cost associated with the partnership with the universities and research bodies. So this is really our internal R&D paradigm. We have a lot of technologies which we have focused on, such as digital big data, machine learning, artificial intelligence, robotics, digital twins, blockchain, IoT, AR, VR, etc. These are increasingly important for us to deliver differentiated solutions to our clients. Therefore, their potential applications in the AEC industry are being actively explored. Traditional non-engineering sectors such as healthcare, advanced materials, industry, hardware, and energy management are also main areas we have a lot of research attention on. Now let's take another look at the figure. I'm going to take you to the next level of an innovation strategy, which is referred as internal venture. So now you are looking at a figure. We have a lot of interesting venture ideas, which has turned into products and solutions, not necessarily digital. We have a lot of physical products as well. And we launched these internal venture programs to encourage Europeans to come up with an innovation solution that can address design and engineering challenges associated with the existing projects and to advance in industry standards. We currently run entrepreneurship programs, which is meant to create a unique opportunity for our employees to explore, develop, foster new business and technology opportunities to grow and drive organic growth.
And I can supplement a little bit because all these products that we develop, in fact, we are not a manufacturers. Quite often, we need to find partners for the manufacturing and the maintenance. And that's why, apart from ourselves developing all these products, we also need to find partners as well.
So if you're interested, you can actually find the link at the bottom right, left. You can click into and find more information about our venture products. It's a global website sitting in our data domain. So the next one is we have an interesting methodology to really do this internal ventures. Let me go through this. Internal corporate venture team is responsible for the prioritizing proposed venturing ideas, and based on our technological feasibility, business impact, and marketability. So how our innovation is integrated into client projects varies from case to case, subject to the maturity of the solution and our expectations with that. Each business and innovation ideas is matched with a mentor. We have many internal mentors, which are the subject matter experts. They're giving the support to the young engineers, to the people who came up with ideas, to support their journey to turn these innovation ideas into solutions. So the key objective of this program is to allow participants to learn how to manage R&D projects, how to test, through seed funding and mentorship, Arup aims to provide a free space for our engineers to have a freedom to fail, to try and quick and try. So this fail fast model allows our leaders to calculate the risk before they invest further into this program. So you can actually find a lot of steps here, from the trainage, from the seeding, from development, first phase 1, phase 2, and the commercialization. We have a well-defined methodology to encourage internal entrepreneurship programs. So now, this figure again, right? So this is actually the whole point of this presentation today, to share with all the startups here. We actually think that, I have 5 minutes left. I would like to take you to this, how we engage with startups. Successful cooperation innovation requires not only internal, but also external. We understand that. And Arup is very open to partnership with our innovation startups to tap into this emerging technology markets. We believe there are many technology areas that we're not expert. We need to tap on these external resources to tackle the problems together. And we also understand that a lot of people in Arup, project leaders, top management, they also understand the importance of bringing our startups into our ecosystem, because we need to foster some collaboration to tap into this disruptive industry, which we have to foresee this is coming, and we have to be prepared for that. And how do we prepare for this? There are a lot of we have established relationships with a lot of our participants, such as our startup teams, SME, multinational technology companies, and our university research institute, and our incubator and accelerators. The reason that I put incubator and accelerator here is because through them, actually, we can find a lot of interesting startups which they have invested into. And it's really convenient for us to collaborate with incubator directly. So normally the collaboration model is they recommend some startup teams to Arup. They send some project portfolio for that project, for that team, and we will review internally. If we have interest into that project or that team, we will have further discussions. We arrange meetings with the project team, and then we can discuss further. So it's really like building confidence for that team and building mutual understandings of each other, so we can collaborate on the project base. So now you can actually have a glimpse of the innovation ecosystem database we are expanding. It's under construction now. So it's not a really high resolution here. So if you want to join us and be part of that, please let me know, because I will share my contacts later at the end of the sharing. And we are at the stage, to be very honest, we are at the stage where we are looking for different stakeholders to join us, so we can co-invest into innovation programs. Top management and project leaders recognize the importance of this building startup ecosystem. Now with me being at the stage, really virtual stage, I would like to deliver the message that we are aggressively and actively looking for startup companies to join us to develop new solutions for our clients. And if you are very keen to develop some solutions with us, to have some POC, pilot studies, really some very unknown areas you want to tap into, welcome to talk to us. Again, my contacts will be shared later. So our principle to work with the startup community is to extend our technology service portfolio. As I said, we want to advance our skills. We want to advance our knowledge to provide the best we can for the clients. There is a saying that if you want to walk fast, you walk alone. If you want to walk far, you walk together. So we understand merits of the latter. Yeah, and we have been testing the methodology. It has been proving very rewarding in the past. So by joining our ecosystem, the startups actually can enjoy the mentorship to have these market insights from Arup. For example, Arup mentors have recently provided mentorship for a program called Resilient Hong Kong Challenge. It's an initiative that brings together innovators and entrepreneurs to work together to help Hong Kong adapt, overcome, and grow beyond its challenges as a resilient city. We could also work together with you to customize a solution that we can help you iterate your solutions to be more suitable for the clients. You can learn from this progress, from this whole process, and I'm sure it's going to be really interesting process. So if you are really interested to develop some discussions or collaborations with Arup, talk to us. And we also understand there are a lot of startups will be at a different stage, such as its maturity level is very different. So no matter the technology is mature or at infant stage, we understand, or no matter it is developed in-house or together with the partnership programs, we believe that there is no simple turnkey solution for us to cater for every team. So in some cases, Arup support the team to develop innovation to the level of a prototype. In some other cases, we have built our POC and pilot projects before we really put it into this project bidding proposals. So there are a lot of interesting areas that we are focusing on aligned with our strategic goals. So if you don't have time to read into, take a screenshot. I'm gonna stay at the page for 2 seconds. I don't have much time to go through this slide, but let's talk. If you're interested, let's talk in details. So over the years, we understand there is a lot of risk that involved can make the collaboration fail, such as we understand there could be multiple reasons. At the beginning, we normally take time to understand the startup teams, to build a confidence towards the team and the solution. We also define the scope and the liability before the collaboration. And also, if we work down further, we will make sure that there are clear governance to the startup teams, and there are also relevant stakeholders always being at the place to give advice if necessary. So we also understand our project, our service didn't stop because we also keep everything on track after the project delivered. But this is specifically dependent on the contract details. So there are a few cases. There are a few cases that we have built internal platforms. This is one of the exhibition we held 2 years ago, I think, and we had it last for 3 months, and it's called Digital Build Future. We have invited a lot of startup companies we borrow this equipment and different devices into our space, and we showcase these different solutions to our colleagues, including colleagues in local office, East Asia office, and other regions offices. So another example is we have weekly technology sharing sessions, which we invite the startup teams to come to our space, and which is a dedicated space for us to invite the speakers from both internal side and externally to share the new technologies, to show the understanding, to show the project application cases, so everyone can learn. And it's also it has been running for a few years, since 2017, I think. And now we also have a lot of bigger platforms, which we have invited a lot of clients. So when these people are on the stage to share with us their solutions, our clients are sitting among us. So they will be able to pitch to the solution to clients. So the clients will be able to understand that we are not only looking for a solution that lasts for now, we are looking for future solutions. And this is another simple example that we had a few years ago. This is like a yearly program, right? Mm-hmm. And this is we call it Penguin Pool program. So in that particular scene, we had a few startup teams from Hong Kong UST. They pitched our clients. They have some FYP projects and new startup ideas. They pitched our clients at the spot. So this is what we have been doing in the past. So this is our team. We have Dr. Tsui, which is also sitting here. We have Yannick, my French colleague. We have Dr. Goldman Ho, which is Arup Fellow and also Director of Innovation. We have Jimmy Tong, which is managing a lot of internal, external venture and innovation initiatives, and myself. So this is my contact. If you are interested, talk to us. This is my WhatsApp QR code.
Right, thank you, Macy, for a brief introduction. Then I pass on to Dr. Lam, sharing the experience in working with Arup.
All right, thank you. So my experience tells me that great project must need to be teamed up with great teams. So a few years ago, we actually teamed up with, Arup, and then working on a, Hong Kong buildings. So I think most of the time that you always heard about what is a smart building. So going in the following 10 minutes, I'm about to share actual project in Hong Kong that we work with, the Henderson land developers. So it is one of the buildings that we work at the North Point in King Hwa Road. So it is a Class A commercial building, which is actually right next to the harborfront. So it is a 25-story smart office building, which it has been under a lot of media exposure because they got a lot of awards. So the most I think dominant one is they got the yearly Green Building Award, which is a grand award. So they also got some certificates from the China 3-star Green Label, as well as the LEED WELL and then the BEAM Plus locally. So first of all, I would like to briefly introduce about the building design. So first of all, they have a solar responsive facade. That means that they can shade away the excessive sunlight, and then they will follow the sun's position and then path, so that it can reduce the solar heat gain into the buildings. And secondly, they have a BIM, what we call the building information modeling, that can connect with the building management system. So they put it in a traditional legacy system into smart. And then the third one is about the green building control. So they adopt a lot of CO2 sensors into the buildings, so to determine the air volume which from the outside. So it also provides the motorized windows and blinds, and then with the dimmable lightings following the luminance level. So you can have an outlook on the buildings itself. So for the left-hand side, you can see the facade of the whole buildings, and then you can see at the entrance, it is quite good that there's a lot of artworks inside the buildings. And then at the right-hand side, you can see the lobby area. So our objective to provide a smart building is simple. It is to provide an easy-to-use mobile app for tenants to control and then to interact with the building facilities. So we are given the orders from the land developers that they want, the outcome will be green, healthy, sunshine, and then it can change the user behavior, to live in a greener way, and then you can enhance your, productivities because we have improved your working environment at all. So what actually about the building management system is that, first of all, we integrate all sorts of the system that you can see in here, including the access control, including the electricity, so that we know the energy consumption of the building. And of course, we are more concerned about the HVAC system, the fire and safety, and so on, etc. So by integrating this kind of system, what we can do the next is to provide different kind of applications. So because time is always not enough, so I try to minimize the features of this smart building. First of all, we are design this kind of application for our tenants, so that they, rather than every time calling the facility management, they can have the self-control by using their smartphone to control, for example, the VV box. For example, you can remember that the motorized windows as well as the sun blinds. And because there's a lot of trees, surrounding the buildings, and there's a lot of artworks that you can see, in the previous photos. So they can provide a QR code, which is I have also shown, the QR code here, that people can scan with the code and then understand more about the tree's name and then about the specifications of the system as well. And there's a self, weather station at the entrance of the building, and another one, it is at the roof of the building, so that it can provide a real-time, weather information, to the clients and then to the users of the building. And the second one is we target to facilitate the management team. That is, they can use a web-based platform to do the device control, monitoring, and even they can assign which tenants can control which kind of equipment. So as a nutshell, the mobile app also provides a relationship between, the clients, that means the tenants, with the facilities. So they can push some message. For example, today it is quite sunshine with some chilled, windy weather. Why don't you, consider, to open the windows. But remember, please, put your blinds up. Sometimes like this kind of information that you can, have more interactive, message with the clients. So at the entrance, you can see at the right-hand side, we have an energy dashboard, which at the lobby to, sometimes to allow the users to have an understanding about the energy consumption of the building. Another one is like the web-based facility management system. So once for example, I'm one of the tenants, when I move in, I can be assigned to control, for example, the VV box. And then if I'm the tenant admin, I can assign my colleagues to, for example, Simon can control this lighting, and then Sally can control the windows. So we try to digitalize, the facility control with the users and then the facility management. And every part of the operation will be recorded, and as well as we can capture the user behavior analytics. So for the user end, we provide a smart office control app. And then you can see that at the left-hand side, we provide the VV box control. But rather than asking them to provide the set point temperature, we ask them whether you feel comfort, slightly warm, slightly cool, something like that, which I'm going to cover in the next slide. So you can also see some screenshot like the weather information from the weather station, as well as you can do some control on the sunblinds and then motorized windows as well. So what happened? What can we solve some problems existed in an office? I would say that it is a cold war. What is cold war? It means that sometimes I may feel hot, and then sometimes your colleagues may feel hot or cold, right? Sometimes it cannot be compromised, right? So rather than that, we enhance the thermal comfort by applying the research model. So we have humidity sensor, we have temperature sensor, but there's no such thing that called human comfort sensor. But with the rationale about human as a sensor, but the question is, how can we extract the information from the humans? So that is how we study the user behavior from the usage in the mobile applications. So riding on the 7-point scale voting system, they can, every time when they sit down or they feel not comfortable, they can just like vote on the mobile app. And then we can build up their thermal comfort model individually using our AI model. So you can consider that when every one of the company, you have your individual comfort model. How about when we are sitting in the same zone, or we are now in a conference room with a meeting? So the system can optimize the set point temperatures of the area. So you can see that from our experience that it can, on the one hand, improve the indoor comfort of the people. At the same time, it can save the energy consumption up to 30%. So it is not unexpected results because, in Hong Kong, people always complain that it is so cold, right? So on top of this kind of integrated system, we also provide different kinds of the workplace management, which I'm not going to highlight today, but it also enables for you to connect with your existing meeting room booking system or property management so that you can do a lot of, in the old time, you have so many operation and maintenance menus and then all sorts of, equipment catalog, schematic diagrams. So you can put all the things into one-stop system. So we also provide the user end with the mobile app, as long as you can go inside the building with the entrance gate, and then we can enable the users, the tenants, to control at their office. So that's all about our presentation, and I'm welcome to have any questions. Thank you.
Right, thank you, Dr. Lam. What I can summarize here is the value that Mac automation gave to us is really something new technology. Combining with our domain knowledge, we can offer a different solution to our clients. This is the value that actually the startup can give us. Now, on the other hand, what we can provide to the startup is, first of all, a real project for you to try out the technology and to refine your technology. Having only standalone technology from one startup, trying to pitch a client is quite difficult. Now, because they have limited resources, but for us, we have a wide spectrum of skills. Combining with some new technology, then we are able to pitch to our clients. So I think that's the kind of experience that we had in the past. I met Dr. Lam probably, last time 2 years ago. He's now based in the Great Bay Area and with an office in Hong Kong. And I really like to know, what kind of benefits or advantages of having that kind of setup. Leveraging on the Great Bay Area together with an office in Hong Kong.
Well, I think first of all, we have our headquarters in Hong Kong, and some years ago, because we see the need to develop our Internet of Things hardware into the buildings. But there's lots of resources not in Hong Kong but in Shenzhen. So that is why we advanced it into the Shenzhen, Qianhai, the market. So on the one hand, we develop our upstream resources to develop the hardware, and at the same time, we make use of lots of fundings. And then because the market is unimaginably larger than Hong Kong, so I think it is one of the major benefits that why we consider start from Hong Kong and then advance into other Greater Bay Area cities.
Okay. Now, we are quite special because we are an engineering consultant firm in the sense that, in fact, we don't know what the next project will be. The way that we can get more startup to join us is to keep on, communicating. Now, without communication, we don't know what's the current status of each startup, and then it's not easy for us to incorporate all the solutions from startup into our bid provide to the clients. So that's why you can see from Macy presentation, we've got a lot of activities trying to showcase what the startup can provide to our clients. And of course, standalone, as I mentioned, as a startup company, it's very difficult to actually get approval from the clients to deploy your technology in the client's project without us actually going through all the technical feasibility, whether it's work or not, or refining the solution. I think that's the benefit, how the startup can work with a corporate like us with the domain knowledge in the industry. Macy, do you have any, when you look at the period development trends, in the past, we quite worked together with tech company, university, but now, in fact, we're moving to working a lot with startups. What do you think about that? Why that, make us to turn into that direction?
That's actually a very sharp question because we have been spending a lot of years working with our universities and research institute, and we found that normally there's a research projects which are running in the universities. The maturity level could be lower than the maturity level in the startup companies. So because we are spending a lot of our efforts into co-create these solutions for the clients. So we are hoping that we could have a diversity of the collaborators, such as we have the incubators, which they can introduce the startups, which they have a relevance to our business. So it's more like we are trying to find the best solutions as soon as possible for our clients. As Dr. Ricky Tsui has mentioned that we are not really sure what is the next project going to be. So we need to be very prepared for all these directions, all these disruptives from different directions. So even from the universities, they have very advanced research labs, very advanced research staff. So they could have a very interesting angle to help us to advance our skills, and as well as our startup teams. And actually, when we worked with your company 5 years ago, I think that several years ago. So we found that that's our starting point for us to really look into the collaboration with the startup teams. And we found that we actually win a lot of prizes by collaborating on this project. And I think that is also one of the first solutions we provide for the clients on the BMS management system without any hardware devices, directly using API to connect into the BMS system, right?
Yeah.
So that's like a very innovation solution by then. And we are still working with Dr. Lam, with a team to actually look into the new opportunities because their technology is also advancing, which is like we are advancing at the same level, at the same pace. So we want to go hand with hand to startup teams to have new solutions formed. So welcome to talk to us.
Well, the reason why I ask this question is because in the past we worked with university. It took quite a long time for us to develop something new, but now because time to market is quite important, and we can see a lot of startup. They're putting their full-time works on their ideas. We think that if we can assess their maturity, then we'll be quite good that we can develop our own capability faster than developing by our own. So these days we move from collaborating with university to a lot on collaboration with startup. So these are, I think, even within a corporate like us, moving into that direction. I think the startup definitely will have some good future, especially in the Great Bay Area. Once after having for example, like the first project that Dr. Lam, you with us, what's the route that you further take? After learning the experience by including you in that project, how you can manage to survive and thrive after that project.
Well, I think I would put it in this way. The learning experience is that sometimes you need about the communication skills with, the clients. We heard a lot of, smart building applications, but sometimes they don't want to be the white rat. They want to be, the first one to try. But in this project, I think it is quite a successful one because it is, I would say, it is the first case that how we can integrate into an existing system and then put it into a smart building. So what is the next is about, sometimes I think you need to give the confidence to your clients, what will be the outcomes and then what will be the benefit. Sometimes it is not about a very costly solutions nowadays. It becomes because there are lots of emerging technologies, which is like sensors, like all sorts of systems that can be disruptive in the communities. So I think what is the next is about that we can adopt more and more solutions, and then we can share more about the successful stories with our other parties. Then that will be our next step.
Yeah, I can see that after that project, he come up with a lot of other different applications. So it's quite good actually to help you to diversify. Now, I think we can take some questions, right?
Yes, we do have a few questions. So the first question for experts from Arup. So what kind of support do you provide to new startups at early stages?
Right. First of all, we need to judge the maturity of the technology first, whether it is actually in line with our offering, technical offerings. And quite often, we understand the market. So we have a judge about whether that technology is suitable to be deployed in the markets, or even, for example, like having 80% or 90% ready, it is still possible. So that's why we can provide the information about the possibility of the technology, and also give that advice how they can modify the technology to suit the markets. Now, another way of collaboration is, in fact, right now we are doing is to co-develop together. We share the IP even. Because we have our domain knowledge, combining with the new technology, we can come up with something new. So that's why we've got a number of collaboration right now ongoing is under that route.
I see. So we have a question for Dr. Lam. So how did Arup assist you in different stages of your projects?
Sorry?
How did Arup assist you in different stages of your projects?
Well, I think first of all, because Arup, they are actually a well-known, consultancy, in worldwide. First of all, like I mentioned about communication is very important. They are able to translate what we are, sometimes we talk a lot of, tech terms. But, if you talk with, the building architect or sometimes with the clients, they may not understand at all. So sometimes I think Arup is a good, what I would say, the gateway to help us to translate, the language that they can echo with the clients. And the second way is that client, for the Arup, they has a lot of, project experience, not just in Hong Kong, I think in worldwide. So they can provide a lot of insight. For example, sometimes, we may have some blind spot, but they will offer their opinions and the comments so that we can come up with a better solutions. So I think the synergy is like they are experts, in the building communities, and we are in the building control side, expert. So when we are integrating together, we can deliver a good project. So that is why I say a great project needs a great team. That is what I mean. Yeah.
So I think that leads us to an interesting question. So what is your first impression of Arup, and any change after you've collaborated with Arup?
Well, before, my background is from computer science before, but after, my graduation, I tried to, step into this communities, and then I know Arup is actually a well-known, consultancy, like I mentioned. So I've never thought about that we can collaborate together because they are, working a lot of good projects. But I know that at that time, because the market, they do not have this kind of solutions. And I'm quite happy that because Arup, they are willing to adopt some new technologies rather than every time they would just pick from the client's list or vendor's list and then pick one or two from them. So I think first of all is that we can build up the trust. And what actually innovates me is about how actually the pain point from the building communities, because they are experts and then they know the pain point of the clients more than what we do. So I think the collaboration is quite good. And then in the future, I still expect next project, maybe this year or next year, yeah.
So another question for Arup experts. So have you seen any groundbreaking construction innovation in Hong Kong in the past few years?
In the construction industry, it's very traditional. Right now in the construction industry, we are talking about construction 2.0. But now in the manufacturing industry, they are talking about industry 4.0. And the reason we understand because we need to build a building that's lasts for 60 years, a bridge lasts for 120 years, and that's why we have to be conservative. But now we are moving in the digitalized world, and that's why we are also undergoing the digital transformation. Yeah. And we will see that a lot of things will coming up. Now, BIM is one of the technologies that we need to deploy in the industry, but we can foresee that in the future, there's a lot of different digital technology embedded into our solution and offering to our clients. The upcoming one that I will foresee will be the 5G. And if you're asking about what kind of technologies is groundbreaking, I think it's the how you deploy the digital technology like the AI and also the machine learning to help us to offer better solutions to our clients. I can name, for example, in the transport industry, in the past we send out our colleagues going out to capture the number of vehicles passing by a street or road. But now we can deploy camera with machine learning capability to automatically record not only the number of vehicles, but also the types of vehicle. So these kind of technologies actually give a lot of advantages to us for our offering to the clients.
I see. So I think that's all for today. Thank you very much for the fruitful discussion.
Thank you.
So coming to the end of this session, please feel free to scan the QR code on the screen to send us your feedback. You may also click on the link below event description under the video frame to fill out the questionnaire. We hope you enjoy and take the most from the event for developing your entrepreneurial journey. Thank you.